Hi, this is lesson 11. This is actually something of a bonus lesson that the voiced endings and linking are actually in the book or in different lessons. In fact, voiced endings, that is in lesson 3 with the consonants, and linking is usually in lesson 10 with the baton and a few other things. Anyway, I brought those together, and actually they work, as you'll see, it actually works pretty well together. Both of them have this kind of like a zip, a little bit of a circle feeling to them, something like that. We call it a quick circle. And using that MT4, using that gesture, as you will see, really helps you kind of get a good feeling, a good kind of body sense of how linking and how getting good sound at the end of a word kind of work together. You have to kind of stretch things out a bit. Anyway, as you see on the blog, this first note, most languages do not have final voiced consonants as in English. By that I mean most languages don't have the, 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 j, z, g, like that. They often have what we talked about, the lighter or the voiceless sounds. Much more frequent are things like th, p, p, t, ch, s, k, those instead. But again, sometimes the language and the way the sounds work together gives them a different sound, different feeling, different kind of different emphasis, something like that. Okay, anyway, you read that over. As usual, here are all the links to lessons 1 through 11. And I again, for the third time, I've given you the Vimeo link to the consonant polka. I thought maybe we would do that as a bit of a warm-up. As you remember, I'm playing the mandolin and yodeling and a few other things on that video. So just for practice, let's kind of do that. So we got that. First one is like in thing, the, s, z, sh, j, b, t, d, k, g, ch, j, o, n, w, y, Just that question there. That's the sound like at the beginning of a word, like the word apple. We say apple, we hear that apple, that sharp start. It's called a glottal stop. Anyway, and in the polka, in the video, then I say ha 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 afterwards. Anyway, those are the consonants from modules 3 and 6. And we will use those in some of the things we're going to do tonight. So first thing, so for a good warm-up, go there and go to the Vimeo and see if you can sing along with me. That's fun. Like I said, I think I said in lesson 6, it took me a long time, many tries to record that video, the consonant polka. Okay, so tonight we've got two things, voiced final consonants. In other words, that is, back up here, these, the, b, d, v, j, z, g at the end of a word. And like I said, many languages don't have those. They have the lighter consonants, but, and even for most people speaking English as a second language, if you use, instead of doing, for example, instead of doing b, you use pa, or instead of using da, you use ta, or instead of using ga, you use ka, it'll come out okay. People will be able to understand you. But again, sometimes there's a word that it makes a real difference, whether you have a voiced or voiceless at the end of a word. Like my father's name was Bob, B-O-B. And I remember he had a friend who was, I think he was Greek, I can't remember, but he called my father Bop, right? And there it made a difference. It sounded kind of funny, Bop, instead of Bob. And again, we will kind of go through how to fix that actually quite easily. So here we go. So the idea of this one, and you can read over the description is, what you do is you put your fingers together. You're going to move, see that's on my shirt here, right from here to here, like that. You're going to move from here to here, about that far, as you say the word. So for example, the first one is the word, we have the word says, if at the end of a word it's a B, like Bop, my dad's name, what you do is you pronounce a light P at the end, and you lengthen the vowel and make the vowel longer. So let me give you show how you do that. So you go, so for the word bib, you go bib, bib. What I'm doing is I'm bib, very light P. Almost, it's a P, but no air coming out. Bib, bib. It's not bip, it's bib. So what you do is you want to say a P with no air, basically, which is very close in English to a B. Same thing for dad. Dad, instead of saying dad, dad. Notice what I'm doing. We start here, dad. By lengthening the vowel, usually people will hear the D, even though I'm saying just a light T on the end. That's all I'm doing. Dad. Very light. Same thing for G and K. There's K and G. So instead of saying dog. So you start about here. You see where I'm starting? Right where the writing is on my shirt. It's about that far. Dog, going from left to right. Dog. Same thing for Z and S. So instead of saying bees. That one's kind of tricky. You gotta be very careful. You don't get too much air or whistling on that S sound. Bees. Same thing for sh and j, like the word treasure. That was not quite as important, but again, so it's treasure. That was a bit tricky. Anyway, see how that works. And the last one we have is ch. Here's we ch and j. So we got judge. Now, you practice them this way, and we will practice it in the embodied oral reading. But every time you're going to say the word judge, you don't move your hands across the front. But you practice it, as usual, for about a week, maybe a little longer. You might want to do these embodied oral readings, maybe 2 weeks, practice them, and at least you'll begin to hear a little bit better as people around you, but some of them will begin to come into your speech a little bit. Anyway, most important thing about this linking and final consonants is not something that you should spend a lot of time on. But again, once you've done some of these pairs, as you will see in a moment, they'll begin happening. They'll come into your speech. They will kind of sneak in on you. All right. Again, you can read the understand. Here's our embodied oral reading for the final consonants. Put your fingertips together over here, kind of over. It's about this, about under your ear. See that? About there, and it goes over your other ear. It kind of goes ear to ear, something like that. About here. Okay, so well, there's Dad. I just noticed I missed one. My dad lived in Cleveland. You're moving on the end. Cleveland. He said that it rained every day. And now we got my friends, my friends, lengthen the sound before the D. My friends and relatives, relatives are always depressed, depressed, depressed. They can't breathe, breathe, breathe. And that one is like breathe. I'm actually saying breathe, breathe, breathe. But because of the long vowel, it sounds like the breathe. If you go back to that line, my dad lived in Cleveland and he said that it rained every day. You do it that way as well. Remember too how you practice these. We do these. So my dad lived in Cleveland and he said that it rained every day. My dad lived in Cleveland and he said that it rained every day. So do it first with the lengthening, pushing, and then do the Tai Chi like we often do. So my dad lived in Cleveland. He said that it rained every day. He said that it rained every day. Next one. I know we got Z. I can't judge. So judge, j. So I can't judge. I love these rainy days in Baton Rouge. And really important, you don't have much air coming out on that final sound. That's the main thing, right? As long as you don't a lot of what we call aspiration, whistling sound, generally people will hear the voice sound. Let's do that line again. That's a real good one. I can't judge. It's judge. I love these rainy days in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Even for me, that's a little tricky. I was getting rouge. Very, very light. Next line we have should, leave, cruise, voyage, and instead. So maybe you should leave on a cruise or a voyage instead. You hear that, those? I did a good job on that one. All right. Now let's do that again. That's really good. Okay. Maybe you should leave on a cruise or a voyage instead. Yeah, that was good. I hit that one. I nailed that one. All right. Another one here's V. We've got V, D again. Z, V, Z, and D, and G. Awesome in this line. Let's do them real slowly. I have, just have. Is what you're saying? Have, H-A-F. I have to avoid that. My girlfriend, that's a, we move on the end. My girlfriend does not love cruises. Cruises is an interesting, we got two of them in there, right? You got cruises. I'm saying SS, cruises. For the difference, sounds almost the same. Then she'd, like T, but lengthen the vowel. She'd gag. You're really saying G-A-K. Gag. Have to avoid them. Have to avoid that. My girlfriend does not love cruises. She'd gag. So again, after you've done it with the pushing from left to right, then go through a couple times the Tai Chi. Have to avoid that. My girlfriend does not love cruises. She'd gag. She'd gag. You can do it with Tai Chi too. I have to avoid that. My girlfriend does not love cruises. But cruises is really a tricky one. Kind of swallow the air as you say it. She'd gag. Tai Chi, again, you're touching here and coming down your hand. So you get the idea there. Practice it first, going left to right, lengthening the sound before the consonant, and say the consonant at the end with almost no air coming out. And it'll sound really good. It'll sound like the voiced version. T, it'll sound like a D instead of a T, a B instead of a P, a G instead of a K, and so on. All right. Next one is again, same idea. We call this a quick circle. So this one, your hands are going to be moving in a circle, just like that. And what we do with the circle, the idea of the circle is to help you kind of bring sounds together and help you move sounds around a little bit. Let me demonstrate. We'll just go through them. So in the first one, between two similar consonants, drop one. When you got two D, like you got D, good day, first time, big game, you drop the first one, right? So what you do is it's good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, good day. So is here. You make a circle and then you put the D on back over here. So good day, good day. Same like the first time. So first time, first time, first time. Get a really tight circle. That's why we call it quick circle. Good. Oh, very clever. All right. First time, first time, first time, first time. Same thing with big game. Big game, big game, big game. So those come together very easily. Anyway, that's a nice one. I get the feeling. So that's the idea, just what we just did there. Now we're going to do that on about 5 or 6 more different combinations of consonants or consonants and vowels coming together. Next one says adjacent sounds overlap. Means they kind of come together. There's something more going on here. The D and N and the D and L, as you remember, they are kind of even, the tongue is kind of in the same position when you say both of those, D, with the D and N, D, D, N, N, and L, D. Remember the L sound where we pushed up really hard, we moved our hand out, O, D, D, O. The tongue starts in the same place. So because the tongue is in the same place, then the sounds just merge together. The same idea though. It's going to be good news, good news, good news, good news, good news, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. Now, you're not saying luck, luck. You're just really saying bad and luck. But what's happening is in the middle there, remember back in the song, remember the glottal stop, like the beginning of the word apple, that sound. That's what happens in there. You still have a stop. Your voice stops and it makes it sound like it's maybe a D or a T or something like that. So you get the same quick sound. They sound very much the same once you do that. That's a really nice example there. Then between two consonants, you got two consonants between, remove the first one. Here we have kept going, kept going. Remember what I said, when you take out that first consonant, that T, you pull the T out, there's still a stop there. There's something still very close to a T sound, but not quite the same. So it's kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going. It's right here, right? It's tab right here. Kept going, kept going, kept going. And another one, diamond, 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 ring, and ring. Okay, and there we got D and R. I mean, that's a little bit further apart, but the same idea. So it's diamond, ring, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring. What you've got in there, you still have a little bit of a stop after the N of where the D was, right? So what you're actually doing is you're putting just a little quick pause between the two, which makes the ear of the listener think that the sound, the consonant is still there. At least it's still as strong. That's a nice example though. A diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond, diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring. Tricky one, right? Diamond ring, diamond ring, diamond ring. Really have to concentrate on that one because it having two syllables there. Good one there. Here's another one where again letters combine. This is one where you have a T at the end of a word and you have a Y at the beginning of the next word. And those two words kind of come together. And actually, when we say the like a ch sound, that's really kind of right in the middle between Y, which is further back in the mouth, and T. So the sounds really do combine. So here you've got ga and then cha, ga and cha. So gotcha, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That's very clear sound. Same thing with don't ya, same thing. If people say, hey, don't you know? Don't ya? So it's don't cha, don't ya, don't ya, don't ya, don't ya. Use your whole body when you do that one to drive that one through. That's one that you will, if you practice that one some, before very long in your speech, you'll hear that one coming through. Here's another one, same thing. Before we had T and Y, now we've got D and Y, same thing. So instead of ch, get j, it says did you, 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 or find your, find your, find your, find your. Find your. Did you find your friend? Did you find your friend? Did you find your friend? Try that one. Did you find your friend? 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 Practice that one a bit. Good one. That's very nice. Again. Did you find your friend? Did you find your friend? Practice a little bit slower than that, of course. All right. Okay, here's now two more. Here we have consonant and a vowel. And these are really nice. Basically what happens here is consonant goes from the first word to the second word. So we saw some of those before. So the same way would be turn, off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off. Bad apple, bad apple, bad apple, bad apple, bad apple. Like that was almost bad apple, bad apple, bad apple. There's that glottal stop, that sound with apple. Then here's plus one. S always moves to the next one. So this is plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Here's of a girl, like a dozen of, well, of a girl, right? Of a girl, 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 of a girl. And of eggs, of eggs, of eggs, of eggs, of eggs. Really have to concentrate on that. So it's of eggs, of eggs, of eggs. I must tell you something else. While I'm doing this, I'm using a lot of like air pressure, like from down in your diaphragm. I'm really using my abs a lot as I'm doing those to give myself the energy to be able to move my hands this fast. I really have to be working with my abdominal muscles, my abs, driving it through. So if you got some strong abs, you ought to be able to do this one even better, right? Okay, just two more. Or one more, actually. Here we have vowel, vowel. And so, for example, I wrote there W sound added. Well, kind of. Remember from lesson 5, we had the double vowels. Remember we had, for example, we had ooh, right? And we had oh, remember that? So we had OW and OW. Ooh, and O. So 11W, ooh, O. That's what this is here, right? That's that W. The W is just stays there. It moves over to the other word. So you get something like, for example, you get too often, too often. So the ooh is here, like 11W. It come around, and then you put the W here again, too often, too often. Right? Same thing with 9W. Remember 9W is go, right? 9W. Same thing here, we get go out, go out, go out. So the W is here, O-W, go out, go out. Same thing with Y. Here, over here, we have one Y. Remember, we have like E, me, well, there's he, right? E, right? Well, here we have I. We have I. Remember I, right? So we, for example, here we have I am. So we have I am, I am. You could almost do it this way. I am, right? I. Although better to do it with a quick circle. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. Lots of abs there. The last one is he asked. So we get he, it's he, remember it's one Y. So you get he, yeah, he asked, yes. He, yeah, he asked, yes. So there you are. Oh, we got four. I forgot one more. Here's another, just one last one. That's the one with there's an H at the beginning of the word. Again, some forms of English say the H more, some don't. Some drop it right off. This one, here it drops. So we've got deep hole. So we got D, right? D, hole, deep hole, deep hole. The H just drops right out. Deep hole, deep hole, deep hole. Same thing with what happened. I'm sure you hear people they're speaking, you hear this, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? It's not what happened? The H even drops out there. It's what. It's almost like what happened? What happened? What happened? Or you can do it with a D, like D. So you say, what happened? What happened? That's easier. Or what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Got that? Okay, let's do a little practice. Wrap it up. Okay, so let's go through them. We got, what I've done is I've capital letters to show you where the quick circle is. So, excuse me, could you put my bag in the overhead, the overhead, the overhead. Okay, sure. The next one line, sure. Then glad to. And there you are. There you are. There you are. There you are. You are. You are. You are. There you are. Here's thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And no worries. So you get no worries. No what? No worries. No worries. Link those together like that. And here's 3A that grew up. So it's grew up. I grew up. I grew up. I grew up in Japan. I grew up in Japan. You do that one? I grew up. I grew up. I grew up in Japan. I grew up in Japan. Two really, one very fast quick circles there. And live there now. and live there now, and live there now, and live there now. D drops off completely, and live there now. Now, 3 more lines. Japan. Now, wherein, where in Japan, where in Japan, where in Japan. Really feel the where in Japan, where in Japan, where in Japan, where in Japan. That was a bit tricky. That R is a little bit tricky when you do that one. And Sendai about 2 hours, about 2 hours, about 2 hours, about 2 hours, 2 hours north of Tokyo, north of Tokyo, north of Tokyo. And 4B, real slow. That's a really nice, that's a really nice place. That's a really nice place. Nice place. That's a really nice place. All right, again, I was doing those really fast. I've been doing this for about 30 years, so I can do them. So obviously, you got to practice those very slowly and very clearly. But I can promise you for sure that working with those, you'll be amazed at what you begin to hear in conversation as people talking. When you hear these linkage, how they link their words, and even word endings, you begin to listen for word endings and hear exactly how people do that. What you'll find out is that often native speakers as well, you really don't make those voiced sounds at the end of the words very clear. They often sound like what we're doing today, going from one ear to the other ear. Anyway, hope you're having a great week. And we have at least 2 more lessons. Next week may be a review of all the MT4s. I've got several other topics kind of lined up, but at least 2 more lessons. And again, hope you've enjoyed this one. I certainly did. And again, this is one that with some practice, you'll begin to really feel some differences. And you'll be able to hear some interesting things in the speech of others as you're doing. So, have a great week.